Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist and today doing a Gadget deck profile. So I'm really excited to do something for you guys because this deck is an extremely fun deck to play that I've included all sorts of extremely spicy tech cards in this build for you guys. So without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell there so you can become part of the notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards. Like getting your name description every single video, getting assigned cards in the mail, and even getting to request a deck profile every single month to your Patreon. So without further ado, let's get straight on into this. So first off, we're playing 3 copies of Green Gadget. Green Gadget has an awesome effect that when this card is normal or special summon, you get to add a copy of Red Gadget from your deck to your hand. We then play 3 copies of Red Gadget. Red Gadget's definitely a 3 of as well in the deck. This card has a really cool ability. When this card is normal or special summon, you get to add a copy of Yellow Gadget from your deck to your hand. We then also play 3 copies of Yellow Gadget. Yellow Gadget is really cool to be able to play in this deck as well, because when this card is normally special summon, you get to add a copy of Green Gadget from your deck to your hand, so that you can loop through these cards over and over again. I did decide to play 3 each of these cards because it's so easy to summon them out to your side of the field and use them for materials for XZ summons or Link summons in this build. We then play 2 copies of Gold Gadget. Gold Gadget's definitely a 2 of in the build, and this card is really cool in the deck overall. So when this card is normal summoned or special summoned, you can actually special summon a level 4 machine monster from your hand. And if this card is destroyed by battle by card effect, you can actually special summon a level 4 gadget monster from your deck, except another copy of this card, which is a really cool ability. We then also play 2 copies of Silver Gadget, which basically does the exact same thing as Gold Gadget, just with a different name. We then play 3 copies of Infinitrack Anchor Drill. Anchor Drill is amazing in this deck overall as a 3 of and helps out so much in this deck. As this card has the ability, if this card is normal or special summon, you can actually special summon 1 Earth Machine monster from your hand in defense position, except another copy of this card, essentially summoning out your copy of Green, Red, or Yellow Gadget to your side of the field and getting a search off their effect. This card helps you go in for rank 8 plays as well, because it lets you target one other machine monster that you control, and the level of both this card and that monster become the combined original level of the 2 monsters until the end of the turn, basically letting you target one of your gadget monsters to make them both level 8 between your copy of Anchor Drill and the gadget monster that you targeted, so you can go in for some awesome rank 8 plays. We then play 3 copies of Symphonic Warrior Guitar. This card is really good as a 3 of in the build, because this card is a great pinwheel effect that you can actually discard a card to special summon a Symphonic Warrior monster from the deck, except another copy of Guitar, and the card we're summoning off this card's effect is actually going to be our copy of Mike's. Mike's is really good to be able to play in the deck as a 1 of, because this card gives you an additional normal summon, which is amazing to be able to do in this deck, because every time one of your gadgets is normal summoned, you get another search, which is really cool. We then play, for our Spriggan's package we're playing the deck, we're going to start with a single copy of Spriggan's Rocky. Spriggan's Rocky is really good in the deck as 1 of for tally-ho plays. We then play a single copy of Spriggan's Brothers and a single copy of Branga. The reason we're playing these in the deck is because we do play Gigantic Champion Sargus in the X deck, and we want to be able to go in for tally-ho plays, which is why we play these cards in the deck. You don't want to draw into them, you want to be able to use them with your copy of your Gigantic Champion Sargus and Merrymaker, and you want to be able to use them with Tally-Ho to be able to swarm the board. We then play a single copy of Terverion King Regulus. Terverion King Regulus is amazing in the deck as a 1 of, because this card has a really cool effect to just instantly special summon itself to your side of the field by targeting a machine monster in the graveyard and equipping it to this card. You get to summon this card out to your side of the field, plus it's a walking negate. We then play a single copy of the Star Destroying Kaiju. This card is actually a small world bridge to be able to search out our copy of our Symphonic Warrior Guitar, because the only thing it has in common is that it's a machine monster, and we have a lot of different attributes in the deck and a lot of different levels in the deck, so you can use this as basically a bridge with Small World to be able to search out your copy of your Symphonic Warrior Guitar, so we can get Mike's out to be able to get that additional normal summon. So that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, we're going to start with a single copy of Called by the Grave. Call of the Grave is definitely a one-of in the build just to stop your opponent from hand-trapping you while you're going in for all of your plays. We then play a single copy of Tally-Ho Spriggans. This card is really cool as a play in the deck, and really awesome as actually an engine to be able to play the Spriggans in this build, as this card is a great ability that when you activate this card, you can also detach up to 3 materials from monsters that you control, which are always detaching 3, to add a Spriggans monster from your deck to your hand. Then, if you detach any materials to activate this card, you can also special summon that many Spriggans monsters from your hand or your graveyard, which is such a powerful effect to be able to use to instantly swarm the board with Spriggans monsters so you can go in for XZ plays. This card is amazing in the deck and just overall a fantastic card. We then play a single copy of Monster Reborn. Monster Reborn is just really good in the deck overall to bring back a monster from the grave. We then play a single copy of Triple Tactics Thrust. Thrust is amazing in the deck, so we can search out so many different cards in this deck, like our copy of Monster Reborn directly from our deck to our hand off of its effect, or we can get to our copy of Talent. Talent is great to be able to get to because this card has 3 awesome abilities that lets us draw 2, take control of the opponent's monster, or look at our opponent's hand, choose a card from it, and shuffle it into the deck, which is so cool about this card. If you don't have a copy of Thrust, you can play a 3rd copy of Talents if you want to, which is a more budget option for you guys. So you can play 3 of this and none of this if you want to, which is a more budget friendly option. We then play 3 copies of Time Tearing Morganite. Time Tearing Morganite is such a powerful card and just really awesome to be able to play in the deck overall, because we don't have any monsters in this deck besides our copy of Terverion KingJackGames that actually activate in the hand. And this card has a really cool ability that for the rest of the duel you apply the following effects: that you cannot activate monster effects in the hand, you draw 2 cards instead of 1 during your normal draw, and also you can conduct 2 normal summons or sets per turn, not just 1, which is absolutely amazing for gadgets because every time you summon a gadget you get an additional search, so you're going to get to summon 2 monsters out to your side of the field every single turn. This card is like double summon but better and just absolutely broken in this deck to be able to summon out monsters to your side of the field. But be careful with this card because you want to summon out your copy of Terverion KingJackGames first before you activate this card, because it's a for the rest of the duel effect. And if you do activate this card and then you want to try and summon out your copy of Terverion KingJackGames, you will have to tribute summon it out to your side of the field because it's the only monster in the entire deck that activates in the hand. We then play 3 copies of Small World. Small World is really good because we want to be able to search out our copy of Guitar from our deck, which is why we play the Star Destroying Kaiju as a Small World bridge in this deck. To be able to reveal that card in the deck, reveal any machine monster in our hand, then reveal our Star Destroying Kaiju in our deck, and then be able to grab our copy of our Guitar directly from our deck to our hand so we can get that additional normal summon. The only card you have to kind of watch out for in this deck is the Gold and Silver Gadget because they are light monsters, but the rest of the deck is basically Earth, so you can reveal any of the other gadget monsters in your hand, reveal your Star Destroying Kaiju, and then basically you reveal your copy of Guitar, add Guitar to hand, and then it gives you an additional normal summon, which is absolutely amazing. We then play 3 copies of Clockwork Knight. Clockwork Knight is just too cool in this deck not to play. This card has the ability to all face-up monsters on the field become machine monsters, and machine monsters that you control gain 500 attack and defense. Also, machine monsters that your opponent control lose 500 attack and defense points, which just gives you a boost on the normal summon of your different gadget monsters, making them actually really good normal summons because they get absolutely massive when you summon them out to your side of the field. Instead of them being like 1400 attack points, they come out at like 1900 attack points, and your opponent's monsters are losing 500 attack points, so they're pretty big to be able to normal summon out and just go in for game, which is really fun to be able to do. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, we're going to start with a single copy of Platinum Gadget. Platinum Gadget is definitely a one-of in the build because this card has the ability it cannot be used as Link material to turn its Link summon. And during your main phase, you can actually special summon a level 4 or lower machine monster from your hand to a zone this card points to. And if this card is destroyed by battle by card effect, you can special summon a level 4 Gadget monster from your deck, which is a pretty cool effect. We then play a single copy of Access Code. Access Code is great in the deck as a one-of just to be able to pop multiple cards on the field and help you go in for game because it comes out absolutely massive. We then play a single copy of Appaloosa so we can get multiple monster negates out on our side of the field because this deck swarms like crazy, and plus we don't play any hand traps in the deck, so this card is basically what we want to establish to be able to get multiple monster negates. We then play a single copy of Nightmare Unicorn to spin stuff, and a single copy of IP Masqueraded to go in for a copy of Unicorn, which is just really cool to be able to do. We then play 2 copies of Giganta X. Giganta X is just really cool to be able to summon out because it is a searcher for the build, with the effect that once per turn you can detach a material from this card to add a level 4 lower machine monster from your deck or graveyard to your hand, which is great to get the exact card that you need. We then play a single copy of Merrymaker. Merrymaker is just amazing to be able to summon out to your side of the field because if this card is special summon the X deck, you can send a Spriggans monster from your deck to the graveyard, which you usually want to do so you can use the effect of Tally Ho to bring it back to your side of the field. We can play a single copy of Gigantic Champion Sargus. Sargus is really cool because you can make this card on top of your copy of Merrymaker, and it has the ability once per turn. You can also XZ summon this card using a Spriggans XZ, which is your copy of Merrymaker. And it also has a really cool ability. While this card has materials, you can actually add a Spriggans or Etherion card from your deck to your hand, which is why we just play a single copy of Tally Ho, because you can actually search it off Gigantic Champion Sargus to swarm the board with all sorts of monsters on your side of the field. We then play a single copy of Dragobolon. Dragobolon is amazing because we can easily make this card with Anchor Jewel, basically level modulating to your machine monsters on your side of the field to be level 8, and then you summon out this card to your side of the field, detach 2 materials from it, and then once you do, you summon out your copy of either number 38, which is a spell negate, or your copy of number 100, which is our OTK piece for the deck. We then made a single copy of Utopic Future. Utopic Future is just really cool to be able to summon out to your side of the field, so we can step into our copy of Utopic Draco Future, which is also a walking negate in the deck, and very easy to summon in this deck. We then play a single copy of Zeus for the last card in the X deck, with Zeus being an awesome board wipe in this build. So, that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. This deck is super fun to be able to play. If you guys have never played a Gadget deck before, you should definitely give this deck a try because it's really spicy. I really like this build. It's super fun to be able to include the Spriggans package in this build. It's just really cool overall to be able to use, to be able to go in for game and just establish all sorts of awesome boss monsters on the field. So, that's good for this one, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification so you can become part of our notification squad, and we'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.